Holodynamics, discovering your full potential self. The initial mystery that attends any journey is how did the traveler reach his starting point in the first place? Louis Bogan. One of the most powerful experiences a person can have is to discover the potential that drives them. This discovery can be more powerful than any addiction, mental illness, or social disease. It has proven over and over to be potentially more powerful than any other single event in a person's life. Victor Vernon Wolfe. Victor Vernon Wolfe, PhD. Current status: founder and chairman of the International Academy of Holodynamics. Founder and chairman of Holodynamic Knowledge Systems, Inc. Director of International Academy of Natural Science. Co-director of Holodynamics Project. Dr. Wolfe is the author of 16 books. In addition, Dr. Wolfe consults with individuals and businesses. He is internationally known as a speaker, an experienced trainer, seminar leader, therapist, and entrepreneur. His specialty is improving relationships and building high-performance teams through the holistic study of situational dynamics. His Unfolding Potential seminars, which began in the United States, have now expanded worldwide. His educational background: Doctorate of Philosophy in Child Development and Family Relations, and Marriage and Family Therapy. Master's degree in Religious Education and Educational Psychology. Bachelor's of Science and Education in Physics, Chemistry, and Education. Our consciousness. In order to fully evaluate this life journey, we should first consider the initial starting point from whence we came. Many people are born into this world and never ask the questions: who am I? What is the purpose in life? Why am I here? We seem to unconsciously accept the cultural norms and values in our environment, engineered by an elite class to promote a worldview that serves their interests, not ours. To assess these questions would be extremely advantageous. So, let's start from the beginning. Consciousness is the medium through which we experience reality. More technically, consciousness is the self-awareness naturally arising within any sufficiently intricate information network. Consciousness is awareness. Awareness of one's own existence, thoughts, surroundings, etc. Awareness is a natural characteristic inherent to and arising concordantly within the fundamental information processes of the universe. Our spirituality. Historically, the words religious and spiritual have been used synonymously to describe all the various aspects of the concept of religion. But in contemporary usage, spirituality has often become associated with the interior life of the individual, placing an emphasis upon the well-being of the mind, body, and spirit. Our human potential. Psychology emphasizes the importance of attending to and developing the potential of the whole person. are those aspects that make us human. The physical, the emotional, the intellectual, and the spiritual. To be your true self means to be and take responsibility for your life on all of these levels. Personal development is therefore the process of being the best that you can be in order to reach and realize your fullest human potential. It is a journey of continuous unfolding, self-discovery, self-improvement, then ultimately self-realization. Which came first, consciousness or life? Neuroscience, psychology, and Western philosophy deemed that life gave rise to consciousness. In other words, consciousness emerged from living systems. The second paradigm states that panpsychism, Eastern philosophy, spirituality, and a position stated by A.N. Whitehead, concludes that consciousness is intrinsic to the universe and precedes life. Who and what controls you? Locus of control is different than motivation or why you do something. Locus of control is related to where you conceptually place the responsibility, choice, and control for what you achieve and what occurs in your life. Reflect on what you just read and ponder it for a moment. Internalizing and assimilating this one concept can create positive changes in your life. The decision of where to place the responsibility for your success and failures is not usually something that you are consciously aware of. Yet, it is very important for you to reflect on and identify your general locus of control. Why? Because it can increase or decrease your motivation, positively or negatively affect your sense of self-direction, promote or demote your control over what you attempt and accomplish. Our external and internal locus of control. There are two types of locus of control, internal and external. The external locus of control supports a belief that one is helpless, without blame, and not in control of one's successes and failures. An individual with the external locus of control blames their failure to outside sources, such as, I did not do well in class because the instructor was terrible. Or, the project that I had to complete did not meet expectations because I didn't have the information. While the student with an internal locus of control will attribute their success and failure to their own efforts. This student with an internal locus of control would believe that they were in control of what grade they earned. I didn't do well in class, but it was because I did not give class the time and effort needed. When I realized I should have done something about it, done some extra reading, met the instructor, this student takes responsibility for their life and the results of their decisions. Positive attributes of internal locus of control. You will retain control of your success and failure. It produces a positive mental attitude. It allows one to accept responsibility for actions, achievements, and failures. It promotes the understanding that your success and failure come from your own efforts. It promotes behavior for crafting your future. Creates positive self-image and self-confidence. Supports feeling of control over your destiny, and it allows for higher quality results from higher quality actions. The negative attributes of external locus of control. One gives up control of their success and failures. It produces a negative mental attitude. One misplaces responsibility for actions, achievements, and failures. One disallows the understanding that success and failure comes from personal efforts. It negates proactive behavior for creating one's destiny. Engenders poor self-image and victim mentality. Creates out-of-control perspectives about life. Produces low-quality results from low-quality actions. Locus of control and dependency. Insight into downdraft resulting from an external locus of control can be observed when reading the following passage from a psychological journal commenting on a dependent-codependent relationship and the dynamics thereof. Dependent is characterized by excessive emotional and psychological reliance on a partner, typically one who requires support on account of an illness or addiction. Codependent displays a behavioral condition in a relationship where this person enables another person's addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. Initial steps into our life journey. The day of our physical and conscious manifestation on this planet is only a small part of the journey. Where does our journey really start? When do the first steps begin? How did your first step begin and where? Deep within our universe, science observes an underlying field or matrix, much like a fabric woven of energy and dynamic information. There is no such thing as empty space. Space is full and it is seething with energy. Different names have been used to describe this field or matrix, which is sometimes called the fabric of space-time. The quantum field, the plenum, the implicate order, 0-point field, dark energy, dark matter, or the Planck field. Much like woven fabric throughout our universe permeates a dynamic field of energy and information. Our steps are intrinsically integrated within this network. This vast field, matrix, or fabric of space-time extends through the whole universe. We can't see this field, but we are intrinsically, essentially, and by nature, a part of it. Imagine it as a vast, integrating network that is imprinting all information holographically and fractally, instantaneously. Consciousness is the foundation of reality. Science shows us that every atom, soul, plant, person in the universe is connected through Planckian wormholes, creating an information highway, allowing systems to self-organize, from simple systems to intricate systems of self-awareness. We are intimately connected to all things through this field of energy. This is the energy that creates atoms, that creates molecules, that create matter that forms our reality. Consciousness is the foundation of reality. This is the energy that runs the universe, powers the stars, and moves the planets. This is the energy that makes you, you. It communicates the energy and information that determines the color of your skin, your eyes, your hair, your body's inner working. It determines your shape, bone structure, and even your psychological demeanor. It is the energy that contributes to you being a conscious human being. Consciousness is the foundation of reality. This subtle, guiding energy has a tangible connection to consciousness. The mathematical equations that postulate these conclusions are the most precise, confirmed solutions proposed in theoretical physics community to date. We are connected to this field, and all things are in and of this field. We are in the field and of the field. We are the field. The field is consciousness, as we are individual forms of consciousness. Discovery of the 40 qualities of intelligence and the self-interacting dynamics of the unified field. Systematic theology, attributes of God. God is love, and all-consuming, unconditional affection. God is spirit, non-physical, immaterial, incorporeal, formless. God is immutable, unchanging, and unable to be changed. God is eternal, without beginning or end, the Alpha and Omega. God is omnibenevolent, unlimited, and perfect goodness. God is omniscient, all-knowing, containing all knowledge. God is omnipotent, unlimited power, able to do anything. God is omnipresent, present everywhere, simultaneously. Consciousness within the field. We can't separate consciousness from this field because the field itself is consciousness. Imprinting, exchanging, and transmitting information every nanosecond. Consciousness orders and organizes the field and its complex, interconnected systems at all levels, and the evolution of the universe itself. We are part of this stupendous organization of energy and part of that consciousness. Nassim Haramein. Substantive reality consists of fields within fields of oscillating electromagnetic energy. Multiplicity of fields within a primary field. The entirety of space-time is full of fields. The electromagnetic field of a single atom to that of each cell in our body, to the heart's electromagnetic field, to the fields of the earth, the sun, and the 100 billion galaxies. The whole of what we call space is full of electromagnetic fields within fields of different magnitudes interacting with each other. Even the atom is a field, and the proton and electron within it are also fields. The universe consists of vibratory oscillations. The basic particles in the field are oscillating and vibrating inconceivably rapidly, so rapidly that there is no apparent space between them. This electromagnetic oscillation is the ground state of the universe. This continuous oscillation is so rapid that it takes matter and makes it appear to be in a steady state. Congruent electromagnetic field theories of consciousness have been researched by different individuals, researchers, scientists, such as Harold Saxton Burke, Electric Fields of Life, Benjamin Labbitt, Conscious Mental Field, Jaibu Yasu, Quantum Brain Dynamics, William Tiller, K-Space Research, Susan Pocket, EMF Field Theory, Hermes Ramjan, EMF Photon Theory, John Joe McFadden, CMI Field Theory, E. Roy John, Electromagnetic Information Field, Hameroff and Penrose, Orchestrated Reduction, Michael Persinger, Electromagnetic Consciousness, Rupert Sheldrake, Morphic Fields, Morphic Resonance, Erwin Lazio, Akashic or A Field, Fundamental Unification, Superficial Diversification. The universe is not a collection of objects, but is an inseparable web of vibrating energy patterns in which no one component has reality independently from the entirety. Included in the entirety is the observer, Paul Davies, physicist. Importance of protons. The proton is the nucleus of the atom. All space-time, or the so-called vacuum, is made up of protons. We are made of atoms, thus we are made of protons. Protons are made of infinitesimally small oscillating units called Planck spherical units, 1 billion trillion times smaller than the proton. All so-called matter is made out of protons and these Planck units. Proton consists of down quarks and up quarks, 100 trillion cells and 100 trillion atoms. There are 100 trillion cells in our bodies and 100 trillion atoms in every one of these 100 trillion cells. Each one of these atoms contains a proton. Each proton holds trillions of Planck spherical units. Connect this astounding fact to the number of cells and atoms, protons, and Planck spherical units in the universe as a whole. The flower of life pattern reveals spherical Planck scale packing of vacuum fluctuations. This is shown at the Forbidden City in China, where the Fu dogs are guarding the knowledge to the temple. Our connected universe. Quantum physics explains how all particles are connected to each other and every observer in the universe by Planckian wormholes. All of these Planck units, protons, atoms, and cells are connected to each other, forming one stupendous field of energy in a continuous universal state of oscillation. They produce a holographic structure with very specific ratio relationships and a dynamic wormhole-like network which connects all points across all scales, generating a connected universe. This universal network system is a fractal learning structure in which each point is learning from the whole and in turn, the whole is informing each point. Scale unification, a universal scaling law for organized matter, produced by Nassim Haramein, E.A. Rauscher, and Michael Hyson. Imagine all the black you see, darkness of space, the singularity. Life is about unfolding potential in multiple dimensions, from hyperspace through the full potential self, the microtubules, through the organs, the body, personality, family, relationships, community, profession, through principles, expanding through universality. Our universe is a network of integrated self-organizing systems. Consciousness, displayed in less complex self-organizing information systems, is interpreted as determinism. Consciousness, displayed in intricate self-organizing systems of self-awareness, is interpreted as free will. Our fractal holographic universe. A fractal is a type of pattern that repeats at all scales, from the tiniest to the largest dimensions in the universe, is inherently fractal throughout. Holographically, every proton has encoded within it all the information from every other proton in the universe. The information of the whole is therefore present in every point. Philosophically speaking, then, you contain within the protons of the atoms of your cells, holographically, all the information from every other proton in every other atom in the universe. Fractals. Fractal geometry, ontologically displayed in nature. One unified whole. This model of unified physics reveals the beautiful elegance with which the cosmos unifies matter, energy, and information into a fractally harmonized and holographically synchronized whole. Within this framework of reality in mind, we cannot really separate so-called inanimate matter, animate self-organizing systems like plants and animals, or self-aware organisms like ourselves. All may come to be seen as integrated components of a continuous evolutionary path of information or consciousness, growing and unfolding through what we call time. Nassim Haramein. Nature displays fractal harmonization and holographic synchronization. Evolve diversification from a single point of unification. The evolution of forces. Scientists also hold the belief that all of the four forces were of the same origin in the beginning of the universe. In the course of time, the original force evolved, the various forces emerged and became independent. Matter, mind, and the unified field. Superunification within the unified field describes all the laws of nature. David Joseph Bohm. David Joseph Bohm was an American scientist who has been described as one of the most significant theoretical physicists of the 20th century, who contributed to quantum theory, neuropsychology, and the philosophy of mind. He developed this theory of the implicate and explicit order. He also believed that the brain at the cellular level works according to the mathematics of some quantum effects, and postulated that thought is distributed and non-localized just as quantum entities are. Connectedness is a fundamental reality. We have reversed the usual classical notion that the independent elementary parts of the world are the fundamental reality, and that the various systems are merely particular contingent forms and arrangements of these parts. Rather, we say that the inseparable quantum interconnectedness of the whole universe is the fundamental reality, and that relative independent behaving parts are merely particular and contingent forms within this whole. David Bohm, theoretical physicist. Physicist David Bohm. The true ground of all being is the infinite, intangible spirit that infuses all living beings. The implicate order. David Bohm. Beyond the visible, tangible world, there lies a deeper, implicate order of undivided wholeness and flowing movement. The explicate order are apparently separate objects, entities, structures, and events is projected from a deeper, multidimensional order. Pribram Bohm, Holoflex model of consciousness. Consciousness, from the frequency domain to the space-time domain, from the non-local implicate order to the local explicate order. Ultimately, the entire universe, with all its particles, including those constituting human beings, their laboratories, observing instruments, etc., has to be understood as a single, undivided whole, in which analysis into separately and independent existent parts has no fundamental status. David Bohm. Indeed, the attempt to live according to the notion that the fragments are really separate is, in essence, what has led to the growing series of extremely urgent crises that is confronting us today. David Bohm. Space is not empty, it is full, a plenum as opposed to a vacuum, and is the ground for the existence of everything, including ourselves. The universe is not separate from this cosmic sea of energy. David Bohm. Paul Hegg, The Theory of Everything. Consciousness is ultimate reality. Physical universes and their components emerge from consciousness. All beings in the manifest universe are related to each other, never separate from God, nature, or any other being for an instant. For in Him we live and move and have our being. As some of your own poets have said, we are His offspring. The Apostle Paul, Acts 17:28. We are our conscious universe. Consciousness is the dynamic of the interchange of information at the cellular, atomic, and Planck field levels. The field is informing us constantly, and we are informing the field. The field is learning, growing, expanding with new information. The entire universe is aware of itself and is exchanging information within itself to every part of itself. And you, as is everything else in this conscious universe, are part of this infinite information network. Biology is the feedback mechanism for the universe to learn about itself. Nassim Haramein. Biology is the feedback mechanism for the universe to learn about itself. 75 to 90% of all doctor's visits are known to be for stress-related ailments and complaints. The brain and consciousness. The brain does not produce consciousness. It transmits and displays it. Irvin Laggio, The Immortal Mind. The brain is a transceiver of consciousness. Ian McGilchrist. The brain and consciousness are linked together, but the brain does not produce consciousness. Consciousness is something altogether different and separate. The mathematics does not lie. Dangjin Song, South Korean scientist. Looking for consciousness inside the brain is like looking in a radio for the announcer, Nassim Haramein. We are one with fundamental reality. Science reveals that in every atom, soul, plant, person in the universe is connected through Planck wormholes, creating an information highway, allowing systems to self-organize from simple to intricate systems of self-awareness. We are intimately connected to all things through this field of energy. We are one with fundamental reality. This is the energy that creates atoms, that creates matter. This is the energy that runs the universe, powers the stars, moves the planets. This is the energy that makes you, you. It communicates the energy and information that determines the color of your skin, eyes, and hair. It determines your shape, bone structure, and even your psychological demeanor. It is the energy that makes you a conscious human being. We are one with fundamental reality. This energy is consciousness. The mathematical equations that postulate these conclusions are the most precise, confirmed solutions proposed in the theoretical physics community to date. We are intimately connected to this field of consciousness. We are connected to this field, to all things in and of this field. We are in the field and of the field. The field is consciousness, and so are we. Expanding our presence in a conscious universe. As we expand our own awareness to comprehend the implications involved, we access more of the information in the feedback loop within the unified field, expand the experiences of our lives, and garner more insight into the inner workings of reality. We must take a more holistic approach to reality, a holodynamic view, a view which takes into account the whole dynamic of an integrated universe of which we are wholly connected. How do we expand our access to this information? We access it by being present, by accessing our authentic selves, or as Dr. Victor Vernon Wolf states, our full potential self, of which we are projections from the unified field onto this space-time dimension. The full potential self, the individuation of the potential field, who you really are. Now let's review some principles from The Universe in a Nutshell by Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, The Universe in a Nutshell. The Universe in a Nutshell, Holography, page 198. Everyone and everything has a hyperspatial counterpart in the higher dimension, projecting onto this reality. This full potential self is a more complex information set projected onto this space-time continuum. Connecting with your full potential self. Everything is driven by potential. David Bohm, theoretical physicist. Everything and everyone has a hyperspatial counterpart in hyperspace. You have a hyperspatial counterpart residing in hyperspace and here at the same time. It is a one-to-one relationship. It is the potential that drives you. It is your full potential self. It is real. And it is actually more real or fundamental because it is the multidimensional you, foundational to all you really are. It is your seed of potential from which you sprouted. It resides here in this space-time and also there in hyperspace at the same time. It has access to all hyperspatial information. It is a more complex information set which is projected onto this space-time continuum, said Stephen Hawking in The Universe in a Nutshell. The full potential self, in reality, is projecting itself into this space-time dimension through the information systems within the microtubules. Victor Vernon Wolfe. How to unfold our full potential self? Let's take a look and see. Unfolding your full potential self. Stay in contact with your full potential self every day. Commit to communicate daily with your full potential self. Covenant to support each other to unfold your fullest potential together. Take action on a daily basis with your full potential self. Do everything on a principle basis. Embrace reality together. Consciously develop a relationship with your full potential self. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. Unfolding your full potential self brings lifelong benefits with it. When you align with your full potential self, you are present and you know what is real. Presence is the key to living your life, finding your mission, and understanding your purpose. It is about benefiting from everything in life. Being present is the most powerful way of knowing anything. Being present is a fresh, new, effective approach to life by discovering your personal potential and giving it form. It means developing a personal relationship with your full potential self. It is about learning to use the information from your full potential self to guide you in your daily living and committing to this specific course of action. This commitment provides an all-empowering state of being in which anyone can emerge to their fullest capabilities. Focusing on your full potential self opens the door to a whole new dimension, allowing you to know what is real and how to solve any problem. How to be present. Presence is when your hyperspatial counterpart, your full potential self, is permitted by you, chosen by you, to possess your body. It is like, okay, I'm opening up all my channels now, come on through. I am going to manifest my full potential self. And guess what happens? Miracles, miracles, miracles. Solutions just show up. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. One of the most powerful experiences a person can have is to discover the potential that drives them. This discovery can be more powerful than the addiction, mental illness, or social disease. It has proven over and over to be potentially more powerful than any other single event in a person's life. Opening yourself to your full potential self, dimension of reality, can be one of the greatest discoveries of your entire life. This is the real essence of yourself. From a positivist perspective, Your potential is as real as the holographic protection which you are in this space-time dimension. Your full potential self is as real, or even more real, than your psychological personality, your relationships, social systems, or even your principled position in life. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. As soon as you contact your full potential self, you access that dimension where all of the usable data about your inner self resides. Your full potential self is the source or the potential cause of every situation and circumstance realized in your life. The full potential self provides, as a living, dynamic being, the context for everything that happens in the course of your life. You are guided to find solutions to your problems within the context of your full potential self. Unfolding potential becomes an adventure guided by your full potential self. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. With your full potential self, you can access the quantum state of coherence, connect to collective consciousness, and discover the solutions to all of your problems. In this context, problems become opportunities for unfolding potential solutions. Problems are viewed as being caused by the potentiality of solutions and orchestrated for the purpose of exhibiting collaborative efforts of your full potential self and yourself. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. Our full potential self embraces wave and particle dynamics simultaneously, allowing us to become totally present. From this framework, our consciousness changes into an intuitive, integrative, solution-oriented, knowing, and creative being. In this state of being, we are the solution to all perceived problems. Through our full potential self, information can be sourced from the quantum potential field directly into our microtubules, then housed collectively and passed on by way of family and cultural modeling. We are part of multidimensional reality. When you are faced with a specific situation, whatever context you use determines the approach you take, and this creates the results you get. When you are present, you are naturally encouraged the unfolding of the hidden potential within each set of circumstances. This is the choice of updrafting and giving life to a situation. Other approaches downdraft and cause eventual death to the situation. Different contexts get different results. Presence through the full potential self gets the best results. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. When you become present, you activate a holodynamic consciousness of intuition, integration, solution orientation, knowingness, and creativity. In this state, you become part of the solution to the problems we're facing in the world today. There's no greater love than energy that prevents corruption, corrosion, rotting, and degradation, than that which touches all dimensions of reality with the healing, knowing, and universal presence of one's full potential self. Aligning with your full potential self opens the gateway to a reservoir of life energy that allows you to manifest a passion for life in the most powerful way. This unfolding process reveals the meaning and purpose of your life, your path, and unfolds the multiplicity of worlds in which we live. There is no better course in life to follow than that which follows the unfolding of your life potential through your full potential self. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. Being present means living life to its fullest possible potential. In doing so, you allow your real self to manifest itself in this space-time dimension. That is why we are here. You experience a life in which you have chosen to give life, to give form to your specific potential, to personally care, to commit your time and resources to it, to do whatever it takes to complete it, to integrate this knowledge into your sense of being and become it according to the principles of universality. When you choose to extend yourself and pour into your life your fullest potential, your full potential self, the universe responds. Your full potential self unfolds and your fullest potential is realized. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. The single most powerful process on the planet is to align with your full potential self. Your full potential self is the source of your personal power. It contains information from all dimensions of reality and gives you access to past and future timelines. Once aligned with your full potential self, it is possible to reach into the past and transform any information field. From this state of being, it is possible to shift cultural fields. It is also possible to reach into the future and bring it back into the present. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. It is when you are aligned with your full potential self that you are truly present. You are present in the past. You are present in the now. You are present in the future. You are holodynamically superpositioned, causing you to be multidimensionally present. Being present represents living life to its fullest possible potential and holding both the past and the present in a loving embrace. This state of being one with the past and future creates a quantum coherence that supersedes both time and space. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. This is a natural process. Your full potential self resides in hyperspace and this space-time dimension also. You can access the hyperspatial dimension of your own personal reality anytime and anywhere. Your full potential self will guide you in relating, solving problems, and creating deep, bonding intimacy. Your full potential self is your conscious doorway into dimensions of the mind that contain intuitive knowing and holodynamic dimensions of reality. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. Use your full potential self in your daily personal living. Your full potential self will help you decide what you want, guide you in life, help you potentialize projects, and help you access and mature your holodynamics. You will generate the capacity to experience a more complete and fulfilling life. Life becomes more fun and more enjoyable. You gain a knowingness of courage. You fear nothing because everything is part of the whole dynamic. You are ready and willing to accept and learn from every life lesson. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. With your full potential self, you can address each block and determine the best possible way to handle it. In this way, your conscious self and your full potential self are always fully aligned. You work on fulfilling your potential together. You team up, and your teamwork creates the synergy needed to accomplish any project. You enter into it knowing yourself, completely aware of your personal mission, feeling confident and free to be creative in unfolding the potential which you have in focus. The potential for which you are here to display. Your full potential self, from the deepest order of organization, makes sure your potential is aligned with all other aspects of the quantum field, and your task becomes easy and natural. Benefits from unfolding your full potential self. When you align your full potential self with your conscious choice or focus, you stimulate quantum wave to produce an echo effect in your full potential self. When the boundary conditions are met, it collapses the wave function into physical reality you have chosen. Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Holodynamics. It occurred when I discovered my own full potential self. My hyperspatial counterpart became my doorway into the enfolded dimensions of reality. It is within these enfolded dimensions that I found the solutions to my own problems and discovered the keys to helping others find their solutions, both personally and collectively. I am now convinced that everyone can become emotionally and mentally healthy. Victor Vernon Wolfe, Ph.D. What emerges is a state of being in which their naturally loving nature unveils its magnificence as a universal, knowing, loving being. Victor Vernon Wolfe, Ph.D. Holodynamics, discovering your full potential self.